Well, good morning, everyone. How are you guys this morning? Hold on one second here while I get you my monitor. The market opened with a huge gap higher. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, big gap up in the overnight. Let's take a look at that here on our, let's do it on the Eagle. So trading left off down here around the 4402 area. It looked like the sellers were going to stay in control of the market, and then the London Open Asian session was very quiet. London Open, and the market plotted a good 40 points higher, 40, 50 points higher. And here we are at the open. So we're going to see this be a great big opening gap. You can see Trade Forecaster says we're just finishing with trend mode and we're about to move into scalp mode. Oh goody. Not quite sure what to expect. You know, a lot of times you can get a feel for what the market might be doing, but I think we're going to have to give this just a couple of minutes to sort itself out. Okay, working on a macro pullback signal here. We're into yellow bars here on the hawk, so I'm going to let that pass. I'm thinking we may see it reverse here to the hard edge. Opening gaps like that are always so tempting for the market. All right, maybe a trend change signal here on the Falcon. We didn't get a signal through here. We'll have to come back to that. Okay, into the hard edge, macro or a first micro macro cross signal pending here. Now I know you've heard me say before that I take these almost without exception. Problem with this one is, where do we cover the trade? Oops, and is it going to run away on me? Okay, it's since tripped, so maybe I'll wait to see whether that develops into a macro pullback. Nope, it's not going to give it to me. Darn it. Okay, I think I can probably be a little bit more aggressive with the market now. Carrie asked a question. Carrie says, I'm looking at the flight path and it looks like the Falcon changed before the Hawk. I've noticed that happens a lot. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Intuitively you would think so, but you need to remember that these systems are all programmed separately, right? So the programming for the Falcon has nothing to do with the programming for the Hawk. Because the Falcon may become more bullish or bearish before the Hawk, that I think has more to do with the underlying environment, because of course the Falcon is trying to pick up a swing environment. I don't know. I'll have to. It's a very good question. I'll have to check with the programmers, see what they say about it, if they have any further input. All right, getting a macro pullback signal now. Hold on, I'm still trying to get a handle for what's going on here. Okay, so a pretty big bounce there. Boy, I wish they would get away from this whole 44.50 area. Okay, we're back to the highs here. Had a quick little trend change signal. What time are we? Oh, we're about quarter to the hour. No, there they go. Wow. Okay. Crude oil on a little bit of a rally, nothing too terribly serious. Here's crude oil on the Eagle. Nice little hard edge bounce there, which developed just a few moments ago. You would actually have a chance at a second push on this one. Admittedly, it's a little bit late, given that our entry should have been around there. You could adjust your profit target to reflect that. I think we should be seeing another opportunity, though, at least on the Hawk. It looks like the Hawk might be working itself into a first micro-macro cross for crude oil. Well, it looks as though we're getting a little bit of a range developing here now. So from the lows at around 44.28 to the highs around 44.54, I'm looking at the width of these bars getting a little bit wider. Unfortunately for me, I think that may be setting the tone of the day right here, that little bullish move. The market apparently very strong around this 44.50 area. Doggone it, there they go. Soybeans a little quiet still. They've been quiet for the last couple of weeks. Very nice rally. First micro macro cross, back into a macro pullback. I prefer to see these macro pullbacks a little bit deeper so that I get more of a test of the extreme. Not to say this macro pullback won't work out. It should work out. It tends to be a high probability signal. But you can see the test of the extreme is going to challenge these highs here at 44.58. Again, that's not to say it won't work out, but sometimes, you know, when it's moving like this, you got to give it a little bit more room. Because it could end up flip-flopping a fair amount. You see, if we have a signal like this, we don't have a signal because it's yellow bars, but if we do have a signal like this, look at how much room the market has to test the extreme, right? We got a lot of room there. We could short that and quite easily reach our profit objective on any type of retest. Compare that with what we're seeing right here, where the retest is limited because of these highs. So even if we risk it like that, you can see we could be seeing at a little bit of a reversal here as the market struggles to recapture those highs. Mark is asking if I use the modified 446 settings on soybeans. Yes, I do, Mark. It seems to work pretty good for most markets in that 1250 tick range. Like the soybean market, like the E-mini. The exception might be the Euro, the 6E. You could use the 446 setting with the Euro also, but the Euro is active enough that you could get by with the regular settings also. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here. Here's this macro pullback signal, and I think it just got up to our profit objective. Yes, it did, but you can see why being a little bit tighter like that, you wouldn't necessarily want to keep your stops overly tight. Keep going higher. They're about to tag my stop loss. There they go. I just got stopped out of another trade. Poop. Shoot. Now watch them turn and fall off the map. Well, that was unfortunate for me. I had a end of day position trade in the NASDAQ with my stops at 44.60. Well, they just got spanked. And the bar is getting nice and fat now, so there's obviously some buying or selling going on at these levels. A little bit too little, too late, though, for my trade. Okay. Well, unfortunately, because I sat out on this earlier move, I'm a little bit stymied at the moment until the market gives me another chance to get in, which in light of the rally could be a little while. Hi, Mark. Sorry. Yes, I got sitting on my mute button again. Um, a lot of yellow bars here in the hawk. That's suggesting, the market's starting to move a little bit sideways. Maybe getting ready to turn. We still have this red bar buy down here, which we could short below, although I suspect we'll either get another red bar buy or perhaps a first micro macro cross. All right, so here's another red bar buy situation, which we could short, could place it above that swing high. Oops. Nope. Okay. Well, we'll put that back on the shelf also. And here they're tempting me now with the first micro macro cross and the macro pullback. Oh man. So the first micro macro cross, obviously I'm too late for that, but again, this is the kind of situation you don't have a test of the extreme here yet, not really. So there's a chance that the market may try to pull back at least to the macro line. You do have this swing point right here, which would give you a good spot to cover. But you can see why I very often focus on the macro line in case it turns into a macro pullback signal, which this one did. I'm a little bit off my game today, folks. I've been dealing with an insurance company regarding my van that somebody backed into the other day. Put a little dent in the side of it, barely the size of a football, a deflated football at that. And they're wanting to write it off. And of course, insurance companies being insurance companies, they don't want to give me what the vehicle is worth. So I've been fighting with them for a few days now. All right, here we go again, coming with a possible red bar buy. This would be what, our third within this trend. It's almost certain that the market will fail now. We typically see red bar buys toward the end of a trend. We only have the warning dot at the moment, however. No, and there we've just lost the warning dot also. Okay, possible beginnings to a first micro macro cross, possible trend change signal here. Nothing yet on the eagle or the raptor, or nothing noteworthy. Okay. First micro macro cross lower. The Falcon looking a little bit more bullish. I'll take this one on a second push on the entry. And I'm going to hold my breath. It's a real mixed bag. So 44.54 is the hard edge. If the market retreats to the hard edge, we should have no difficulty finding our profit objective. All right, getting a trend change signal now on the Falcon. Oops. Let's try that again. Not quite the entry I was hoping for. I was hoping to get it right at the hash mark, but okay, we took a break-even hit on the Hawk trade. And let's leave this one just above the resistance line. I know, shorting into an uptrend market, never a good idea. Okay, come on now. See, it's all this hard edge action that's lending support to the market, which is making things a little bit extra difficult. Come on. This actually was a really quick little macro pullback. Might be developing to a 4-arrow consolidation also. Well, I should be considering adjusting my stops somewhat. I would really like to see a couple of red bars in a row here, like a serious attempt at breaking the support. Here we go. All right, let me see where we'll go with the ATR for now and kind of put the squeeze on the sellers. They're just not giving us anything here, at least not to the short side. I just want to hold my stop around that same area. Oops. No, they're not going to give me this one either. Just a tough session right now. Just trying to wait for a decent opportunity to get back in. Okay, here's a green bar sell, which again tends to develop near the end of a trend. This one, the test of the extreme, isn't there 100%, but we did have all this activity, all this suggesting the market wasn't going to follow through. So you could treat that as a failure and look to buy that instead. And of course, that would be with the trend, which would be a little bit better than getting stopped out on a reversal. And here comes the first micro macro cross higher. Well, there's only one way to really make the market go lower, and that's to buy it. Funny how that seems some days. A lot of yellow bars here, a lot of yellow bars running more or less the same latitude. So we very much could be ending up in a market that is moving in a bit of a sideways pattern. So I know it's the first micro macro cross. I always tell you it's a high probability signal. It's also a sideways market. They're not wanting to go lower and they're not wanting to go higher. So until we get outside of the sideways congestion, every trade is going to be a riskier trade. All right, come on, get up there. Hit that break even. Of course, we could roll our stops below there also. Oh, look at that. They just kissed the profit target. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days, is it? Well, maybe it was just a little unfortunate. We got a little bit of static there and got stopped before the market is going back to the profit target. But you know what? The way the market is behaving today, I'm okay with a break-even hit, even though it looks like we're going to hit our profit objective here in a moment. There you go. Okay, so it would have taken a little extra patience, but it did get there eventually. And more sideways trading. So they pretty much congested. I suppose we could do an OCO type order. Like if you were really desperate for a trade, you could do the OCO. You could buy above, sell below. That's pretty much the range that we're looking at right now. And you can see we're right in the thick of it. And until it gets outside of this range, we're probably not going to see it move too far. Okay, yet another red bar buy, but that again is to be expected given the sideways action. Okay, the red bar buy has since developed into a first micro-macro cross signal. We're back here at the bottom end of the trading range. It is still a trading range, however, so we would have to try to keep those stops a little bit further away. It just barely paid off to the upside and barely paid off to the downside, so you're taking your chances. Like I say, until you get outside of this range, it's going to be tough trading, but we don't have much else going on at the moment, so I might as well show you this. And we'll see how the first micro-macro cross plays out, whether it still conforms to what we have come to expect from it. Okay, and that's since moved into yellow bars, so we cancel that. And we're right back where we started. Okay, here we go. Maybe to the downside again. Trend change signal here on the Falcon. A little bit late on that, but I'll take the second push. And, here too, you could certainly dial down the risk amount. Let's see if I can do that. We'll go in with a little less, take it on target. So this support that we're getting here off of, I guess you could shoot a trend line like so. this is going to be, oh, we actually broke through that. I thought we hadn't been through that yet. There we go. That little support area is going to be problematic. And like we've been watching this whole trading range, that's an issue also. Yeah, it's just too sideways today. We haven't seen, except for the early move, which occurred right back here. Shortly after the market opened, we had that nice little trend change signal, and this was across the board. Whether you're looking at the Falcon or the Hawk, I believe we had comparable signals in the Eagle and the Raptor. Yeah, there's a little red bar buy that we had out of the Eagle. That one I would have tried. The Eagle is one of those tools that I don't mind taking an early signal on, but that may well be the move of the day. Yeah. No, there's just no follow through. Like I said, until we get outside this range, that's why we did this little bracket thing on the Eagle. Until we get outside of this current sideways range, I don't think we can expect too much to go on here. The market seems perfectly content. If anything does look promising, I will let you know, but right now, no. Not much else going on. Crude oil prices have since retreated from their earlier attempts at a rally. Actually, soybeans have fallen off a little bit too. Here's the soybeans on the Falcon. No real signal take here. The decline just kind of plodded along. It's rare that the system will not generate a signal, but occasionally it does happen that if the market is either moving abnormally fast or sometimes abnormally slow, not all the components to generate a signal will be met. So you can see still a lot of sideways stuff. Quite honestly, I don't think we're going to get anything serious going on this morning. In fact, we might close up the room a little bit early. I think after the big rally that we saw out of the gate and now this sideways congestion, a move lower does seem likely. But honestly, until you get outside of this trading range, and the best course of action, as you've heard me describe on other occasions, is to allow the market to break. Oops, wrong tool. Allow the market to break, retest, and then look for your signal. And same thing is going to happen here to the upside. It's going to break, it's going to retest, and then show you that it can actually hold on to that breakout. But really, there's no incentive here for the market to move higher or lower. It's perfectly content where it's at, which after yesterday's session is a little bit of a surprise. All right, you guys. I think we're going to close up the room a little bit early. This is the trading equivalent of watching paint dry. You know what to do. Once it gets outside of today's sideways range, you'll have an opportunity to actually trade something, but until then, anything you attempt to do is going to be a crapshoot at best. All right. Well, I guess we'll catch you tomorrow then. Hopefully Friday's session will be a little better. Okay. Talk to you soon.